Hi, I'm Tom, and this is Adult Game Reviews. This week I reviewed the in-development Slice of Life VN Trouble at Home Chapters 1 to 3 by Cool Kitty Rhymes. I somehow stumbled upon Trouble at Home when bored on Reddit. The renders look interesting and I had time, so I thought I would check it out. So I didn't have many expectations going into it. I feel like I've been very lucky with games as of late, with Nightly Passions, Fog of War, Leaving DNA Between Two Worlds, and so on. So I figured that my good luck would run out at some point, but was that with Trouble at Home? Well, what I got was something I didn't quite expect. Before I get into all that, please like the video if you like it and subscribe if you aren't. Congrats to all the winners of the Steam gift card giveaway. Look out for more giveaways in the future. In Trouble at Home, you play the MC who is in his senior year of high school. You've spent the last 2 years, after basically getting kicked out of your old school, transforming yourself from the scrawny geek to an in-shape, tough, tall, and good-looking MC. Because of this transformation, you made the baseball team. This is the first time I've seen the MC play baseball in a VN. My first thought, besides how rare having a blonde MC was, is the renders look super unique. The first chapter is you having a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day.
Alexander and the terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day.
And how you react and respond to this is up to you. So let's just get into this. There are a few punchable faces. Mark, your best friend, he looks like he's 12 and 40 at the same time. Mark.
I was born with a goddamn stupid looking face.
You have the D-bag principal and your nemesis Eli. I think the render style really exaggerated some people's flaws.
This guy looks extremely punchable.
I didn't know what to make of the visuals at first. Some characters can look a little weird, so Stacy, Allison, Rachel were some examples of the girls looking fine. But over time I got used to the renders and even grew to like them. I mean, Eva is one of the prettiest girls in the VN in my opinion. And you can see how the VN has changed from chapter 1 to chapter 3. Some of the renders I find really pretty, but it's very specific and you have to decide for yourself if it's something that you like. While the renders might be divisive, the story is something else entirely. The writing was well done with some typos here and there, but the story was relatively simple. It was also very deep. You are just the guy who's dealing with difficulties of being 18 and trying to figure out your life. Your parents are gone most of the time and your sister hates you for reasons. You have a number of crappy things happen to you and you have to decide, do you grow from those experiences or do you continue to wallow in depression? One of the bad things that happens is your girlfriend breaks up with you. Do you keep trying to get her back or do you say screw her and you move on? There are a lot of themes of mental illness, from depression to anxiety to much darker themes like toxic relationships, SA and SI themes. I can't say the last two terms on YouTube without getting dinged, so hopefully you kind of get what I meant there. By the end of chapter 3, I was shook. I haven't had a reaction like this playing a VN since Leap of Faith.
My emotions! My emotions!
I've seen people complain that Trouble at Home needs trigger warnings, so here's a trigger warning. It doesn't have trigger warnings. I get it if you want those, but personally, I'm kind of glad it didn't. I think the impact of the scenes would have been diminished a bit with trigger warnings there, but that's just me. The game is split off into a variety of side stories. For instance, you get the option to see some of the story and perspectives of other characters from their point of view. Watching Stacy's interactions with her mom and sister were some of my favorite scenes. Luckily, all of these side stories add depth to the VN that I wasn't expecting. Another thing I wasn't expecting, once I got over wanting to punch Mark's face, I truly think he's one of the best friends in any VN I have ever played.
I'm really sorry, Mark.
He truly cares about you and wants to help, even if, how he helps is a bit misguided. The VN was also surprisingly funny. There were quite a few times where I laughed out loud due to a subtle statement or a phrase here and there. The humor in Trouble at Home could be a lot more subtle than like an Eternum, which in general tends to be more physical humor. Watching Stacy's family just embarrass the crap out of her were some of my favorite scenes. They were funny but also very sweet. There is sporadic music and sound effects. The sound effects are usually very well placed. The music isn't as consistent but relatively average as far as VN music goes. As far as choices go, you're given choices if you want to see side content and how to respond to those different situations. There were times when I genuinely had a hard time making a choice, which I thought was pretty good. Sometimes when I went back to select the other option, it didn't change much, but other times it cut out whole scenes. So the choices mattered more than I thought they would. Moving on to the romance scenes, they're done pretty well. There's no lacking of content here, but it's up to you if you want to see it at all. I mean, I guess it just depends on if you like the renders or not. So Trouble at Home took me about 6-ish hours to play through all 3 chapters. If I just played the first 2 chapters, I probably would think that this VN was fine. I mean, it was pretty decent. However, chapter 3 was exceptional. It was one of the best chapters of any VN I have ever played. It was deep, dark, funny, and really emotionally affecting. I can say due to chapter 3, I absolutely loved Trouble at Home. It was one of the best experiences I've had playing a VN all year. Now, with it only being on chapter 3 of 10, there's still a lot left. So I think chapter 4 will really determine what direction the VN takes and if it still has the same impact. So if you love playing in development VNs, this is a play. I'm glad I played it, but at this point in development, it's more likely you guys will want to wait until it's a bit further along. So this is a wait. If you decide to play it, let me know what you think down below. I want to thank all my backers, and if you haven't seen my review of Fog of War, you can check that out right here. Thanks again. Until next time.